In this video, I'm going to explain the techniques of factoring a basic quadratic trinomial ax squared plus bx plus c. And I'm going to divide these into two parts. The first part, type 1 trinomial, where the coefficient of x squared is 1, where the trinomial looks like this, x squared plus bx plus c. And type 2 is ax squared plus bx plus c, where a is not equal to 1. In this video lecture, I'm going to explain how to factor a trinomial of type 1. Okay, so type 1. We have x squared plus bx plus c, and let's assume that these factors into two binomials x plus m times x plus n. So we are looking for these two numbers, m and n. Let's do the backward. Okay, so let's multiply these two factors, x plus m times x plus n. So using the FOIL technique, we can multiply this, and in the expanded form it will be x squared plus nx plus mx plus m times n. We can combine the middle two terms. We can factor x from these two terms. So it will be m plus n x plus m n. Now, this last polynomial must be equivalent to our original polynomial x squared plus bx plus c. So what does this mean? That the product of the two number m and n must be equal to c, which is the last the constant term of the polynomial. Okay, and their sum m plus n must be equal to the coefficient of x. That should be the sum. That means we are looking for these two numbers such that the product equal to m times n, that must be equal to c, and the sum of these two m and n must be equal to the coefficient of x, which is b. And this is the technique we'll be using to find these two numbers m and n, which will go into the factor. Now I'll explain this by examples. All right, factor the following trinomials. Number 1, we have x squared plus 7x plus 12. So according to the method, we are looking for the two numbers whose product, I'm going to write P for the product, is 12 and whose sum is 7. This number stands for the product, and this number here stands for the sum. Okay, because the product is positive, both numbers should be either positive or both negative. Because sum is positive, both numbers should be positive, positive, positive. So we can see 4 times 3 is 12, and their sum is exactly 7. So 4 and 3 satisfies the two conditions for the numbers. Okay, the product is 12 and sum is 7. So we select these two numbers and we factor this polynomial as x plus 4 times x plus 3. All right. Okay, let's look at the second example where we have x squared plus 7x minus 18. This time, we are looking for the two numbers whose product is negative 18 and sum is positive 7. P for the product, S for the sum. So product is negative 18 and the sum is positive 7. Positive 7. Because the product is negative, one of the numbers should be positive, other one should be negative. And because the sum is positive, our bigger number will be positive, smaller will be negative. So we can start with the 1. Let's say 18, for example, 18, bigger positive, smaller negative. Their product is negative 18, but their sum is positive 17. Did not match with the positive 7. The next number, next negative number I would select is negative 2. Then the positive number will be 9. If I add them together, I get 9 minus 2, which is 7. It does match with the positive 7 here, so we got the match. This means our numbers are 9 and negative 2. Okay, so this polynomial is now going to factor into x plus 9 and x minus 2. All right. Let's look at the third example where we have x squared minus 7x plus 12. All right. This time we are looking for the two numbers whose product is positive 12. Product is positive 12. The sum is negative 7. All right. Because the product is positive 12, both of the numbers must have the same sign, positive, positive, or negative, negative. Because the sum is negative, both numbers should be negative and negative. And I can see this negative 3 and negative 4, their sum is negative 3 minus 4. I get exactly negative 7. So we got the match. Okay, we got the match. So our numbers are negative 3 and negative 4. So therefore, this polynomial here is going to factor into x minus 3 times x minus 4. All right? Okay, number 4. We have x squared minus 7x minus 18. That means we are looking for the two numbers whose product is negative 18. And the sum is negative 7. All right? Because the product is negative 18, one number should be negative, other one should be positive. So one is positive, other one is negative. Otherwise, their product will not be negative. And because the sum is negative, that tells me that the bigger number should be negative. Okay? The bigger one should be negative. Otherwise, the sum will not be negative. All right? So I can start with 1 positive, then negative 18. So I'm looking at the positive and negative. Okay? Positive 1, negative 18. Their product is negative 18, but their sum is negative 17. Did not match with the negative 7. So this did not work. So let's look at the other one, 2 and negative 9. Their product is negative 18, and their sum is -7. So we got the match. All right, that means our numbers are 2 and -9. So we can now go ahead and factor this into two binomial. One is positive x plus 2, other one is x minus 9. Okay, so this is how we factor that type 1, the easiest trinomial where the coefficient of x squared is 1. And this method, I'm going to call it as a product and sum method. All right. Okay, I'm going to put some practice problems so you guys can practice and get the answer. And at the end of the lecture, end of the video lecture, you will see the answer for these following trinomials. Pause the video and factor the following four trinomials. They are very similar to the one that I already explained in the before this. So pause the video and practice these problems and find the answer. If you have already done it, here are the solutions. You can actually compare your work with the solutions I have here. Okay. So here are the solutions for trinomial I gave you for the practice. If there is any mistake, please let me know about it. No, we can and put a comment below. I'm going to explain the factoring technique of type 2 in my next video lecture. Thank you so much.